what would I tell my 25-year-old self? Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. I could tell him, stop hanging around with the losers, get around the people who are already where you want to be. That's a post.
It is. Oh my God, this is like mind-boggling because what happened is now I'm gonna elaborate a little bit over here because everybody's posting, including me too. Is when I'm making a post, I'm putting whatever comes to my mind. And from my knowledge, my experience where I am, I forgot that I worked like 20, 30 years and all those experiences brought me here. And then whatever experience that I'm putting out there that might not resonate with the people or the person that I was 20 years ago or 10 years ago. This is the Real Estate Vibe Show, and I'm your host, Vinki Loomba. Today, I have a very special guest, my very, very, very good friend, Faisal Shah. Welcome, Faisal, to my show.
Hey, thank you, Vinky. It's great to be here. We finally got it together with our time zones, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for making the time. It's so special episode today. So a little bit about Faisal. Faisal is a founder of Wake Up Mentor. He believes that traditional education misses out on teaching essential skills like negotiation, communication, wealth creation, self-marketing, and selling. These skills played a pivotal role in transforming Faisal's life, and he considers them crucial for anyone with ambitious aspirations. His mission is to empower others by expanding their perception of possibilities and enabling them to fast track their journey towards their goal. Today, our topic of discussion is using social media rather than letting it use you. So it means taking control of your digital experience and making it intentional choices that align with your goals and success. So I'm super excited to talk to you, Faisal, about the social media. So first, I wanted to start with this. Can you share a little bit about your personal journey and experience with social media, your experience?
Yeah, absolutely, Vinky. I mean, like perhaps many people out there, I mean, throughout my life, social media has been using me. I've been in a career in the finance industry, private banking, asset management for the last 15 years or so. And what I realized was I was on the main platforms, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, LinkedIn, but I never really understood how it worked. And that's because there's no instruction manual out there. So, what should you post? What should you not post? What's the etiquettes or manners that you should have? I don't know. We're just trying to figure it out. The truth is, there's no hard and fast rules. So, one thing I did realize is that on my journey in my career, I wanted to perhaps change companies, have more. And the only time you do that is typically when you want to change jobs, you create your CV. And then you've got to post it. And if I don't post it, nobody knows that I exist. So, how do you do that? Well, you can create your own profile on LinkedIn. So it's working for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I quickly realized. I'm like, okay, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? So I created a LinkedIn profile, and that was my first probably serious venture without fooling around, on social media. But then again, how do you do it right? How do you market it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where I started with social media in my career.
So the question comes here, how has your perspective changed about social media or evolved over time? Because, now you're one of the experts on social media and you're wearing this 10x cap. We definitely wanted to talk about that. So growth is exponential. If you can share that experience with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, in social media and in LinkedIn, I really wanted to drill down on making a stamp in this world, in getting really creating my own brand, because I realized very early that during reading books like the ones behind me, that, marketing is seen to sales. And we are all selling, by the way, kids are selling to their parents. Can we have this? Can we have this? Can we have this? And they'll go for the clothes even several times. So sales is something I didn't think I did or didn't think I liked. But actually, I realized that everybody on planet Earth in some way or another is selling. And so I really discovered social media through this as a huge vehicle because it's out there. And I wanted to leverage that to really grow my own personal brand. Because if nobody knows me, nobody can spend money with me. Nobody can give me business. Nobody can give me opportunities. But if people know I exist, then we can interact. And so my game for the last few years has been people need to know I exist and what I do. And I need to be able to summarize that in 2 seconds.
And you said very good thing. Like, like you didn't want to sell. Nobody wants to sell. Everybody thinks that I'm not good at selling. And but at the same time, it's more like about interactions. So how do you pivot your mindset or the way you're doing things? So it's just like more like interactional, more like relation based, and not necessarily like salesy or pitchy. You don't come that way.
Yeah, I mean, salespeople have a very bad reputation, and I think I understand why. I believe that 95% of salespeople are really, really terrible. They have zero sales process, probably, and they have no idea what they're doing. They've probably had very little training, if any. And I say 95% because if I walk down the high street and I will pop into 100 shops, I'm sure that the 95 will probably not asking how I'm doing, what I'm looking for, or try and help me. They have no processes in place.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I said to myself, that's why salespeople have a bad reputation. They kind of like just going, do you want this? What do you want? And we go automatically on the defensive, don't we? Just
That's
looking.
true. Yeah,
I'm
just
just looking.
looking. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not interested. I'm browsing. No. We go, so how do you break that cycle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't do that when we're at a conference,
Mm-hmm.
a meeting, and we're shaking hands. We don't say, hi, my name's Faisal. Do you need help with LinkedIn? Are you looking for to get more clients? We're like, you look at me like I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We are humans, so let's be human. And so that's what I've realized that actually I refer to it as social selling. And by social selling, what I mean is that it's really about the social aspect. You know who buys from you, Vinky, is probably your best friend, your cousin, your family member. Oh, you're doing a deal on real estate. Hmm, I've got this 401 sitting around. Maybe I should do it. You're doing well. It's kind of social selling, but you're not selling, right?
That's true.
You're just so convinced on your deal that what you're doing is right. And when you're really convinced, you're going to attract other people.
I agree with you 100% because you need to have the faith in your deal, or you need to influence yourself first before influencing anybody else, because then you're coming for more like a place of fulfillment. You are not creating that scarcity mindset right there. Oh, it's all about I, me, myself. It's like, okay, how can I add value to somebody? Because when I'm bringing a deal on the table for my investors, it's more like I'm bringing something for them. I'm adding value to them. I'm helping them put their money to use, or put their money to use in a way that they're making more money. Their money is working for them. So I'm helping them understand that concept versus I'm saying, oh, it's my deal. I need money. Put the money with me. That's going to come very salesy, right? Right there. And people like more protective towards their money than even their kids. Like one of my good friends one time told me, he's like, people are so strange. They will leave their kids with somebody, but they won't leave their money with anybody. I'm like, oh, that's a really good thing, right?
That's true. That's true. That's a good one. And you said something really interesting there. It's about being so convinced on your own deal. That it's there's two expressions I read that really I love repeating and repeating. I think say this several times a week at least. The first one is don't tell me, show me.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I say that is I've had somebody trying to sell me laser eye surgery.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing spectacles. I'm
No
like, see,
experience right there.
I'm like, yeah, okay. And then there was some excuse. I've had somebody
Mhm.
trying to sell me a hair transplant in Switzerland, a very high level person. The guy's bald.
Yeah,
The guy is bald.
I know.
Geneva, Switzerland.
Uh,
And came highly recommended. But he's
I,
trying to tell me, well, for me, it didn't work. I'm just not, I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at his bald head, you know, and then he's telling me something really high ticket. And the thing is, so I really relate to that. Don't tell me, show me. And that's one of my ethics. So that's why I showed you my dashboard. On
That's
LinkedIn,
true.
like, look, what's your dashboard? This is mine right now. I'll get you to the
Exactly.
top 1%. Look at mine. I'll tell you, Vinky, pull out your phone, Google Grant Cardone, Switzerland, and you're going to see me. I'm number one, probably number two, and probably number three.
Hmm.
Um, and then I'm like, would you like that for you when somebody types in Rod Cleef, California or something like that, or Grant Cardone, California? Would you like Vinky's Loomba's, investment deal to pop up? Oh, so now I've got your attention and I've got your trust, perhaps.
Hmm. That's true. Because if you, it's all the visibility and the social media presence or omnipresence, I would say these days, that way people connect with you too. But you said very funny thing, like show me that you gave a couple examples right there, because a lot of people, I think in modern day, whether it's education or whether somebody is trying to do the deals, what I see missing is the experience. People are trying to do things because for the sake of doing it, they just want to do it. Like somebody else is doing it, and other people are doing it. I wanted to do it. So the what element is missing is the experience element. They do not have the first-hand experience themselves. So I just feel, or I would say, I 100% believe in that. Unless you have experienced something, you do not know. You haven't influenced yourself to do something, right? No matter how much you can share with me. Like we've been talking about LinkedIn for months now, right? You've been teaching me a lot of things, do this, do this, do that. But unless I do it myself, I won't understand, right? So when I do something, then I get excited, or let me share with Faisal what it looks like. And then your number one question is, hey, what is your score now? Let's check your score and see where you're ranking now, and accordingly you wanted to tweak it. So now I have the experience. Now I know how to do things. Now I can take it from level 1 to level 10, or from ground zero to whatever level I wanted to go to. So what I see is when that experience is missing, like going back to your example, or being bald or wearing glasses and trying to sell you the things that they don't have, a lot of people, what they're doing is whatever they didn't do it, they are trying to do it for other people. And that does not go very well because their own experience is missing there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, for example, for the parents, I'm going to give you a very good example. Parents, whatever they missed out on your life, they put it on their kids. Oh, I didn't become this. I didn't do this. Oh, you should not do this, or you should do this. So what happened is, by unknowingly, they are trying to shape their kids' life, and which is not in favor of anyone, if that makes sense. So let's shift the gears here a little bit. You pick this topic, using social media rather than letting it use you. So what does that mean to you? And what it means, like universally, how is consuming the, I would say, the clients or the users versus users using it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, people, if I put a comment out there and people look up who I am, I need them to know in 2 seconds who I am. So, and what I do and how I can probably help them. So, for example, I use it as a platform for me.
Mhm.
Vinky, a few years ago, the only way to get attention was to have a billboard, have a newspaper advert. But guess what happens the day after the newspaper's gone? It's gone. The
Mhm.
billboard is gone. Today, you can access the internet for free. I don't know why this is doing this.
That's okay.
um, and it sits on the internet forever.
Mhm.
I don't know when YouTube's going to get taken down or migrate, but it's probably going to. Bob Proctor's got stuff that's filmed in the 1980s that's now recycled into TikTok in black and white,
Mhm.
even, you know. And the thing is that that's how you let it, not use you, but you use it. It needs to be a platform for me. It needs to serve me in my purpose. And my purpose is, you know, to help others achieve what took me 20, 30 years in like a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but another thing is, you can easily can get consumed by all this social media. Your whole day could be just on social media. So what I wanted to ask you is, or learn some tips from you, how could you be like a little bit more mindful or intentional in your social media usage, and kind of tweak it in a way that is more successful for you, the portal, and bringing you whatever you're looking for?
So that's a good question, actually. I only follow the people that really bring me value.
Mm-hmm,
There's no game behind that. I'm not follow back on other platforms or with LinkedIn. If somebody's content doesn't resonate with me, I'll mute them or hide them.
mm-hmm,
Just on, for example, I scroll through and if something I want to give back, I want to have something, but I'll only go through what really stops my scroll.
mm-hmm,
That's it. Now on Instagram, it's really difficult, or TikTok, because everything is really tuned to give you something really focused to what you're looking at. They're super advanced, more than LinkedIn, I would say.
mm-hmm.
Like, the highlights at the top of Instagram, the stories. I mean, one trick I do is I only click on the stories of the people I want, to interact with. So usually I'll scroll past and most of my stories, and I'll select which information I want to put in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's bad information or negativity, I don't want that in my environment. So that's what it is. And honestly, these platforms are made by people who are super successful. They're paid a lot of money. There's a lot of psychology. I mean, me versus $1 billion in research, the research is going to win. I, you know,
That's so true. That's so true. And you said a couple things really good. The first thing is, when you're scrolling down and whatever makes you stop the scroll, that's the person that you wanted to maybe follow and like and comment or whatever. But how do you create your post that catchy or make it that flashy? That's the other word I'm going to use here. That you stop the scroll for somebody.
I'll give you one trick that I teach my mentees.
Mhm.
Write to your younger self.
Repeat it, please.
Write to your younger self.
Right
What,
to your younger self. What do you mean by that?
what would I tell my 18-year-old self? What would I tell my 25-year-old self? Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. I could tell him, stop hanging around with the losers, get around the people who are already where you want to be. That's a post.
It is. Oh my God. This is like mind-boggling because what happened is now I'm gonna elaborate a little bit over here because everybody's posting, including me too. Is when I'm making a post, I'm putting whatever comes to my mind and from my knowledge, my experience where I am. I forgot that I worked like 20, 30 years and all this experiences brought me here. Because whatever level we are, when you're trying to share the information, we just assume that the person on the other side of the table understood whatever we are trying to say. But that person is going to understand whatever their experiences are or whatever their knowledge level is at that point in life. So I need to go back 10 years, 20 years and understand my level of understanding of some concept and try to create the post like that. Right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. I can keep going. I can say to my younger self, stop listening to the uncle idea of how to make $1 million. He
Mhm.
hasn't made anything with his life.
Yeah.
Go listen to somebody who's actually made $1 million. Get into rooms with people who think bigger than you. Stop watching Columbo on TV. That's not going to do anything with you. You know, and another thing I do is I open these books. I don't know if you can see it in this thing, but I can grab a book right here, Never Split the Difference by Chris
Uh-huh.
Voss. It's a book on communication. And I've got, highlights right here
Mm-hmm.
of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've highlighted something right here. Know
Mm-hmm.
the emotional drivers, and you can frame the benefits of any deal in
Mm-hmm.
language that will resonate. Know the emotional drivers. That's a quote right there that I might take a photo of, and boom, that's my post. Literally grab it with my mobile phone. And my,
Mm-hmm.
my books are all full of these things,
Mm-hmm.
because if there's something that really helped me, I might tell the story about how this sentence, I applied it and what it happened. Because people like stories.
That's good. You just gave me such a good idea, the people, whatever they're reading, whatever they're doing into their day-to-day life, and they can use those as the posts or it's kind of a knowledge sharing, whatever you learn, whatever your perspective is on certain book or certain quote that you read, and then you can share with others. That way you're helping other people expand their minds as well.
Exactly, Vinky, but also you're building your personal brand at the same time.
Exactly, exactly. I
So
love
who do
that.
you want to invest real estate with? Somebody who's reading incredible books, investing
mhm,
in their knowledge,
mhm.
attending masterminds and conferences to learn the latest tricks, or somebody who's just posting house for sale, property deal, invest with me, invest with our company. What company? Who are you? What do
That's
you
so
do?
true.
I mean, I don't know, but if I see somebody who's reading great stuff, that inspires me, and their quotes and things like that inspire me, I mean, oh, let me check this person out. And usually the people I serve, that's how they get results. Because, and this is the second quote I wanted to tell you, because I set up two. People buy from people, not from companies.
That's so true.
So invest in your personal brand.
I agree on that 100% because you should be your own brand. It's not the company. People struggle all the time. Oh, I need the branding. I need the marketing. It's just like how you, first of all, you have to learn how to see yourself, who you are. That's the basic thing of everything. You need to understand who you are, where you're coming from, and get resonated with that in order to create your brand because you're going to project to the world who you are, the way you are seeing things, not anybody else there, right? So you said it very well. So influence yourself first, then create that influence for others. So since we're talking about the influence, let's talk about the comment that you made earlier for Instagram. You know, people say, I wanted to follow the influencers so I can have more followers. So how does that algorithm work? So can you shed some light on that, or how to find the influencers who are right for your branding, your personal branding, actually, I should say that.
Yeah, I mean, and Vinky, I appreciate the question. I stick in my lane. LinkedIn is my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
I have experience with. I'm everywhere, so I'm on Instagram, TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, YouTube. I'm everywhere. But it's really a shop window or a test platform. My
Mm-hmm.
experience, I don't actually hire influencers or do anything with them, and our organization doesn't. And I work with some Instagram experts who serve our clients in those. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but really, I believe that when you create great content
Mm-hmm.
and you do it consistently, you tend to attract the right crowd. And I know that from some of the results that we've seen with our clients. So you could use micro influencers.
Mm-hmm.
Micro influencers are going to be better, but I've seen also people using huge influencers like
Mm-hmm.
celebrities. It doesn't, you'd be surprised how much that brings in. Not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
so much. It's not always that big a deal.
So when you
Uh,
say micro influencers, what exactly do you mean by that?
yeah,
Like in
somebody
your own
maybe,
industry, your own like little circle? What do you mean?
yeah. I mean, if you're into health optimization, you might talk to a biohacker or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really small, who's only got a few thousand followers, but might test out your stuff and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I don't have many followers totally.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is I prefer to, rather than have 1 million followers and then fish out which one wants to buy my product and service, I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather have a small room full of warm leads,
Mm-hmm.
full of my ideal clients. And that's how the people I connect to. So on LinkedIn, I actually probably decline 4 connection requests out of 5 because somebody in the Philippines who's doing something crazy is not going to help me get to where I want to go on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
It may
agree.
even harm my brand
Mm-hmm.
if they're
Yeah.
unethical.
Mm-hmm. Also, it can hurt you too on LinkedIn if you're accepting all the requests that's coming your way.
In a way that if you request and they never like or comment on you, the algorithms know that. They'll down rate you. And the same, and actually almost all the platforms I looked at, they're all the same.
Oh, okay.
So if, for example, if you have 1 million followers on Instagram,
Uh-huh.
you get 3 likes, Instagram knows that your engagement is super low.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So it's going to probably internally flag you as that you bought your followers,
Oh.
or at
Okay.
least that your followers are unengaged, disengaged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I
So
know a lot of people they pay for the followers too. Like for example, on the Instagram, I do get pitches too a lot of times. You know, a lot of people they pitch. Okay, I can give you 10,000 followers. I can give you 20,000 followers. Even for the podcast too, people do that, right? So you're kind of buying the followers, paying them the money. So how viable is that option? Like, is it like really, really works? I never tried that. Or
I've
is
never
it
tried it and I
hurts you?
wouldn't. because it's unethical.
Yeah, because I feel like it might hurt you, right? If it's not organic, because if you buy these followers, as long as you're paying them, they're your followers. As soon as you stop paying them, it might drop your rating, right? 100% maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't know how that all our industry works, but I'll tell you one thing: if why do I want to show 100K followers, or what's that going to do? It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. I think on Instagram I have probably 1,000 followers, but the engagement is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I also know somebody, a client I work with, who is growing on Instagram from like 200 followers to 14,000 followers today, and that's probably in the last 6 months.
Wow. Yeah,
And
I
that's
have pursued it.
organic.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
Well,
organic?
he's
Wow.
he's boosting some of his stories on Instagram, but it really boosting them to the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
but he hasn't bought any followers, and I know the tactic because we looked at that together. So I know that. But yeah, I mean, I just think that we should stop thinking so much about the algorithm and behave like humans.
I agree with you 100% because I believe in that, the relationship game. Like I always tell people, whosoever comes my way, and then when I start building relationship, I always tell them I'm in the relationship building game.
Right.
I don't want it to build any transactional relations, because when you are building strong relationships, things happen. You don't want people to come in day one, or do not expect them to write the big check day one. You want it to build relation, and over the course of time, 6 months down the road, maybe a year down the road, then they feel the comfort, or they understand the market, or they understand your business, what you are, who you are, and they have that comfort level to invest with you or take their game to the next level. So I wanted to build those kind of relationship because those are the lifelong, or say long lasting relationships. It's not like one deal, okay, and the next deal I'm looking for more people. Okay, let me go fish and see who I can find and then put in my deal. I don't want you to do it that way either.
Right. And I think the future is going to be recommendations, especially for higher ticket
Mm-hmm.
products.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've learned this now, but I'm thinking, oh my goodness, during my youth, our next door neighbors used to have the same car, you know, or everybody's got the same roof extension now.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that's because of relationships. So if the roof extension company was good, or whatever, the house extension company, the neighbors would use it, the neighbors would use it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
And the power of the influence is enormous. And today, we're humans, we're social beings. We work like that. That's social selling.
Yeah, and it's always been like that, right? We used to call it like the word of mouth or something like that, but it's exactly the same thing. But now with the social media, it's like the growth is at the exponential level or easy, right? We have this neighborhood app in my area where we live. So it's called something, I think it's neighborhood, that's the app name. So people post in the neighborhood, or people ask questions, hey, somebody needs a handyman. Who's the best handyman, or who's a good painter? So we are getting recommendations like that, even for the housekeeper, whose
Great.
housekeeper is good. So let's hire the same housekeeper. So those things work. And it's kind of, it's applicable to any market or any kind of business that you're trying to do. So I'm going to ask you this question over here. In what ways do you align your social media usage with your personal or professional goals? Because this is very important, right? We talk about the social media, how it works, how it hurts you, the algorithm and everything, how we should make it like, you know, in a way that we're using it is like helping us achieve our goals better versus hurting us.
Great question. And I'll tell you why. Personal goals and professional goals. So let's do the personal goals. One of
Mm-hmm.
my personal goals was to lose 10% of my body weight
Mm-hmm.
in 90 days.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And to get my body muscle up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I don't need anybody commenting on 10% body weight and all this. I know there's a reason. I mean, it's more elaborate than that. I want to get my body muscle to 13% from 18%. So what did I do? I use social media. What? Every single morning, and it's in my Instagram, I would stand on the scales and I would take a short video of what it's saying, and I
Uh-huh.
would post it in my Instagram story
Uh-huh.
every single morning. And I did that for 90 days. And I actually showed what I ate the day before, if I walked, my walking graph and everything like that, just on Instagram stories, because LinkedIn stories no longer exist. So I did it on Instagram, but it's more Instagram. It's behind the scenes. But guess what? I hit my goal in 90 days. in
Oh,
89 days. And I pasted it and it's in my highlights on Instagram. Like, and you can see my weight journey, but I stood on the same scales every morning and shot a video. You can see my bare feet going on the scales. Oh boy, what's it going to say today? But it held me accountable. So that's how I used it for my personal goals. For my professional goals, well, it's really easy. My professional goals are to be the number one guy, LinkedIn expert in Europe. So for that, I need to be consistently doing X, Y, and Z, which is posting, testing out new features, getting feedback, reporting my analytics, and making them public, taking people again behind the scenes. So I need to put it out there. Even though I'm shy on video, I need to do video. So I need to get out of my comfort zone.
nice. That's a good one. So it's just like creating your own accountability, whether it's a personal goal or a professional goal. And you can do that with social media. And a lot of people are going to be chiming in. They're going to be either cheer you or just like say that something does not, you won't like. But the thing is, you'll do better next time. Oh my God, I didn't do this. So I got this comment. Let me do it better. I love that. So, any specific books, podcasts, or resources that have influenced your perspective on this being mindful usage of social media?
So I think this one, which was actually by Gary Vaynerchuk, it's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. It's a few years old, so it talks about platforms like Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the old Instagram logo, Google Plus or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
the principles inside it are very much the same, and it's all about give, give, give,
Mm-hmm.
give value, give value, give value, and the people will come.
I
And I
agree
built
with that. Mm-hmm.
I built my company on that, which is just about you'll struggle to find me offering a deal for 997 or something like that. You'll really struggle because I don't think I ever did it. If I did, it was for A/B testing, so I can report back
Uh-huh.
and have some evidence to show customers or people on calls. But honestly, give so much value. Give your course for free online. Chop it up and repurpose it, because people will figure out the why and the what, but for the how, they will come to you. And if you're good and you already help people move the needle, which is typically what happens, I say, hey guys, there's a hidden dashboard in LinkedIn. Really? Check out your score. What is it? Oh my goodness, I'm, on the top 70% or the bottom 30%. It's like, try this tree trick and give me a week and let me know where I go. And people see that. And it's like, now I've got their trust. But
Mm-hmm.
they hit a limit, they can't go higher.
Mm-hmm.
They want to work together.
That's good. So, one tip I wanted to ask you here is how to build your own community in the social media platform, because we are social beings, like you've been talking about. We are human beings. We have emotions, and we try to build relationships at the emotional level or the human level with other humans around us. So, I just feel like it's a very good way to build your branding or personal branding if you create a community around you. And I do see that on LinkedIn as well as on Facebook too. People have all these multiple groups or pages, they're trying to build their community. So I wanted to hear some tips from you or some tricks how to create the community, or if you have already, how to make it better or take it to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, if your community is 4 followers and they all have the same family name, it's a start. That's okay. It's a start. And guess what? We all start at zero
Mm-hmm.
in everything we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, connect with people you want to connect with, but people who can help you get to where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is, a promotion, a better job, a better company, a new city. If I want to move to Dubai, guess what? I'm going to start connecting with people who
Mm-hmm.
already moved to Dubai from Switzerland, where I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to resonate more with them because they're doing the journey
Mm-hmm.
rather than just some people in Dubai, random people here. So it has to be with intention. So know your intention.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the first thing. Know your intention, your purpose, whatever you want, and then kind of reverse engineer that. Who do you want to need to connect with? Who would you want to shake hands with right now? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that person. Well, on social media, you can drop them a message and say, "Hi, I'd love to be connecting," or go and engage with their content. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't think they're going to connect with you, engage with their content, at least that. And when you engage, don't just add a like or a thumbs up, a fire. Add some value. Show that you read it and
Mm-hmm.
add your take on it. If somebody says 5 things I would do if blah blah blah,
Mm-hmm.
five 5 things that I would do if when I'm looking for the ideal real estate deal. Number one, two, three, four, five.
Mhm.
I'm gonna, if it's Rod Cleef, I'm gonna like it and I'm gonna comment, hey Rod, here's number 6.
Mhm.
Check the roof.
That's a good one. Oh my God, you share so many golden nuggets. So let me ask you one more golden nugget from my audience before we move on to our rapid fire round. So share one more golden nugget with my audience.
What would you like to know about what?
Anything regarding mindset or how to tweak your social media presence or how to create a omnipresence for yourself, anything that can help somebody, scale.
Put a photo, absolutely put a photo, and check the photo on photofeeler.com. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great website and it will evaluate your photo and it will tell you, does this person look competent?
Mm-hmm.
Do they look likable?
Mm-hmm.
And do they look influential? And it will give you a score out of 10. And I'm telling you, get ready for some surprise. I thought I had a great professional photo. It scored so bad on there. I did not look influential. I did not look likable. And I did not look competent. I'm like, what? And just by switching that photo,
Mm-hmm.
I got it really rating really high. So that's the first thing. And stick a photo there that makes you look. And if everybody's saying you look arrogant or your photos crop bad, don't like the colors, listen, because that's how people perceive you in the street. So photofeeler.com, get a photo and make sure it's a great photo.
Thank you. I love that tip. So this brings us to our rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and you're going to answer in one word or one sentence only. Are you ready?
Oh my goodness. I'll give it a go.
All right. So what is one of the most important thing that you have learned in your life and how did it change your life after learning it?
Communication.
Good
That's
one.
the word answer.
Share.
Understanding that people actually have different personality types. There's people who are go, go, go. There are people who are analytical. There are people who are social. They'll say, yeah, I'm in. They're really not. Yeah, I'm going on holiday, and they won't show up because that's their nature. Or there's people who are just going to be like really analytical or driver or quiet. I mean, there's 4 category types, but it's communicating with each one.
That's true. And it's very important to understand, what is the driver behind all these personalities. And then if you are one of these personalities, you have to understand yourself, what drives you, what is the driving force behind all that, in order to get to the next level. So next question is, what is the best book that you will recommend to my audience?
The 10x rule.
That's a good one. In one word, what does life mean to you?
Fun.
What is your biggest passion?
Relationships.
If you could turn back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you tell yourself and why?
Get off the sofa, go and find the biggest person you can get around in wealth, influence, or whatever, and get as close to that person as you can. Why? Because it's going to accelerate your growth more than doing college or a master's degree or whatever it is. There's nothing that beats experience.
I think that's the true motto of your Wake Up Mentor program. Like wake up and smell the coffee, start living, and don't waste your life on the couch. I love that.
I didn't think about it, Vinky, but you're right. I when I was thinking of the brand name, I was like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And mentor, I want to be a mentor, not a coach.
That's
So
true.
because the difference is, just in case your audience wants to know, or indeed is a coach. If I want to say I want to climb Mount Everest, a coach would say, yeah, okay. And I said, what have you climbed? Oh, just a local hill, but I'm in the gym. You need to learn this exercise. They never did it themselves. A mentor is somebody who actually climbed Mount Everest.
That's
And they're
true.
going to say, hey, you know what? You're going to need this thing here, right here. You're going to need this little pen. And you say, why? Base camp 2, you're going to need it. And they've done it twice. So that a mentor, somebody who's been there
Exactly.
and done it. And that's where I want to be. I only stay in my lane. I'll talk about what I know, what I did, and what I can do, and what I know that I can help anybody out there with.
That's really good because we talked about that earlier about the experiential learning, because you're sharing whatever you have experienced firsthand. So that's the best way to teach people. And then it's better for them as well because they're learning from somebody who had the experience, not just like we're just talking about it, not really have the firsthand experience, right? So, which is awesome. So this brings us to end of our show today. Can you share with us how can people reach out to you?
Hey, look, if you want to reach out to me, connect on any platform. It's Wake Up Mentor, one word, or you can just go to my website, wakeupmentor.com, and you can connect with me on any social media platform that you want.
Awesome. I had a great time chatting with you today, Faisal.
Thank you so much. Me too, Vinky. And honestly, yeah, keep going on LinkedIn. You're going to get more million-dollar investors. And honestly, it's really a game of building your brand. And once you've got your network, nobody can take that away.
That's true.